Today on Built to Last, saving our infrastructure.
And if you don't have the skilled craftsmen to come to the job, it's almost impossible to do.
Targeted care.
We'll have a motion lab here within the facility.
And labor's end.
I'm retired. If I don't have to get up, go do anything.
It's time for Built to Last.
Built to Last is brought to you by the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters Labor and Management Committee and Armstrong Ceilings. Faster, easier, better.
Welcome to Built to Last. I'm Monica Pedersen.
And I'm Mark Nilsson. We're social distancing here at the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters Apprenticeship and Training Center. It's right here that union carpenters learn the skills that help them maintain the infrastructure of our country.
That's true, and if it weren't for the skilled, trained, and hardworking union tradesmen and women, there would be no way to build the roads, bridges, and even the waterways that are vital to the nation's economy.
Agriculture in the state of Illinois is a $19 billion economic impact. It's the #1 industry in the state.
We produce the best products, I think, anywhere in the world, whether it's corn, whether it's soybeans, whether it's ethanol, but you gotta have good infrastructure. If you don't have good infrastructure, you can't get those products to market or ship them all around the world. But you got to invest, and that's what we're doing here today.
Well, the Grange Lock and Dam is a key component of the navigation system on the Illinois River, and it was completed in 1939. And so over 80 plus years of operation in a really harsh environment, it starts to degrade.
This lock was graded as an F, the worst structure of the Corps of Engineers in the United States, just because it was so old and it was in such need of repair.
And it's seen maintenance over the years, but never this level of work.
Currently, the Illinois River is closed, where they're working on 5 different projects at once.
You know, they got a 90-day window to get this done. The last barge or last vessel to come through here was about June 1st. It has to be opened back up by the second week of October.
To do this right, the lock chamber is dewatered. We install bulkheads on both ends. The bulkheads are 110 feet wide, which covers the full width of the chamber, and they're probably about 5 feet or so in height. We stack them up and make sure everything's properly sealed. And then we'll go in there and we'll pump all the water out of the chamber.
The river here is very touchy. You know, a little bit of rain and it comes up over the lock.
If you're working in that lock chamber on the floor, the river is probably about 20 feet above your head.
Well, this is a dangerous job. There's, you know, your risk of falling into turbulent water, high falls, there's moving equipment all over the place, cranes flying loads overhead, shadows play tricks on your eyes, and safety is just a big deal.
We're under an incredible time crunch. Unskilled labor wouldn't have been acceptable. We need union-trained people that know what they're doing as soon as they show up. We're replacing a whole bunch of the original 1930s concrete. You can't do concrete without carpenters.
A lot of concrete, that's what carpenters are here for, concrete formwork. What they did was they took off the whole interior of the chamber walls.
We have to grind it away or chip it away, expose some of the original rebar, and then we'll hang new precast panels on there and grout behind it to secure these new panels in place. The work includes a lot of vertical components that do look like typical structures you'd see a carpenter work on.
As they're going through the list to dispatch guys out, they look for this job, concrete guys, layout guys, guys with foreman experience, guys that got aerial lift training, OSHA 10, OSHA 30, certified rigger, certified welder.
You get to a project like this, and if you don't have the skilled craftsmen to come to the job, it's almost impossible to do.
The building you see out there on the high wall, that concrete structure is all new. That's what's going to be the hydraulic pumps.
On the sides of the lock, you see a lot of work going on. That's all of the infrastructure to operate the lock.
The craftsmanship that goes into this, it couldn't be done without those men and women here working hard. And what that does for the economy, good paying jobs.
Pays good. Pays more money I've ever made in my life out here. And I mean, I'm only an apprentice.
The wage is great, but the benefit package and the retirement package, that's what it's all about.
It's huge for the local economy. It's over a $100 million project. Around this area in Versailles, Illinois, you don't see very many projects come that are $100 million.
It's got to be right. It's got to be on schedule.
It's an incredibly complex project. I'm so proud of the work that's been done. It's been done by skilled union tradespeople from all over the state and all over the region, as well as my own folks who are dedicated government employees.
October 13th is the day. 11 a.m. is the time. We intend to be ready to have the first tow go through it.
This is going to pay benefits long-term for the economy of Illinois.
You know, we start off by taking a look at these locks and dams, and from afar they may look just fine. Then you get up close and realize you're looking at something that's been around for 80 years.
At Armstrong Ceiling and Wall Solutions, we take great pride in making a positive difference in the lives of people. With the broadest portfolio in the industry and the technical performance to back it up, you can design and install with confidence. Our ceiling construction expertise, training, and pre-engineered ceiling solutions make it easy for you to seamlessly transition from one end of the building to the other. Improve construction efficiencies and keep every job on time, on budget, and on the mark with Armstrong Ceiling and Wall Solutions. Faster, easier, better.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
From bridges and trains to iconic high-rises, have you ever wondered who's powering Chicago? Unlike our sports heroes, they go unnoticed. Yet they proudly keep our businesses, homes, and great city running. IBEW Local 134 electricians and the electrical contractors have the experience, training, and reliability to keep Chicago open for business.
America's waterways are one of the least visible but most efficient elements of the country's infrastructure. While skilled tradesmen and women are ready to do the work needed to maintain these aging arteries, federal funding is still needed to get the work started.
God blessed us with some of the most fertile and productive land on earth, and we grow things that are essential all over the world. Corn and soybeans lead that parade.
Everyone, when they think about infrastructure, they think roads, runways, and rail. River transportation is the forgotten art.
The Inland Waterway system is a unique asset of the United States and economically a strategic asset of ours.
It's the most economical way to move freight. It's also the most environmentally friendly way to move freight.
When you think about the carbon footprint and you think about not having traffic on our roadways, it means that this is the most efficient way.
Inland waterway infrastructure, most of it was built during 1930s. It's well past its design life.
You know, we start off by taking a look at these locks and dams, and from afar they may look just fine. Then you get up close and realize you're looking at something that's been around for 80 years.
And so over 80 plus years of operation in a really harsh environment, it starts to degrade, it starts to become less reliable.
A lot of the parts of it are not just decrepit and deteriorating, but they were built for a different generation. We're thinking about 21st century now.
NEST, the Navigation and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, is an authority that the Corps of Engineers has had since 2007. For about the first 4 years of the program's existence, there was about $40 million spent on engineering, and we have a couple of plans on the shelf ready to go if we're allowed to go into construction. We look at the state of the navigation system on the upper Mississippi River and the Illinois River, and what was recognized is that the 600-foot chambers that exist on that system don't really match the 1,200-foot tows that we typically see in this part of the country. So it makes sense for us to build 7 new 1,200-foot locks next to the existing 600-foot locks on 5 locations on the Mississippi River and 2 on the Illinois River.
That will allow two-way traffic on the river going northbound and southbound, but also allow, if one lock shuts down, the other lock will still allow commodities to transit the river.
We've got to do our job on the river to make the locks and dams work, but keep an eye on that river itself.
NESP also includes an ecosystem component. So recognizing that the work we've done on the river to build locks and dams over the years has degraded the environment in some ways.
We've lost the islands, we've lost the backwaters. It means that we've had shoreline erosion.
Rain events creates flooding at different times. All that has an effect on the river.
The aquatic plants in healthy wetlands naturally contain floodwater, which prevents erosion that leads to siltation.
We'll be able to build those backwaters back as a consequence of all of that work that will be going on.
A lot of farmers love the fish. There's also a lot of farmers that love the duck hunt. And the Mississippi and the Illinois River is a big flyway for migrating ducks and waterfowl.
We're talking about a corridor that stretches from Minnesota all the way down to the southern tip of Illinois, that in that region has about 12 million people who are visiting through that corridor for those recreational activities. That's more than some state parks. It's more than Yellowstone.
We have the environmentalists, many of them leading organizations, that are supporting what we're doing.
It finally allows us to work together in agriculture, navigation, and natural resources as it relates to the ecosystem.
They understand we can use the river responsibly and then address the ecosystem around the river to everybody's benefit.
The process requires an appropriation, and specifically within that appropriation, you need a construction new start.
Unfortunately, we haven't come up with the money.
It is a big upfront cost.
The good news is that we get great support from organized labor as well as the businesses and contractors who are doing this work too.
We've been working behind the scenes, talking to Congress and the Corps. We've been working with the Corn Growers Association and seeing what we can do to help.
We're currently debating in Congress whether we should do an infrastructure bill. We've been debating that for now over 2 years.
If the full construction cost, and I'm specifically speaking of the navigation construction, if that full cost is made available up front, it's feasible to do all 7 locks and dams in 6 years.
When appropriated, NESP will create almost 50 million man-hours of work. Many of those hours will go to skilled union carpenters.
You always want the right tool for the job, and you want the people that know the skills needed to execute a project of this scale.
The United States has been blessed with some of the most skilled craftsmen in the world. And when we do work, it really is something you can count on for years to come. And it takes training.
Skills, skill sets, those who are trained to do the jobs that need to be done.
So that when it's all said and done, you can not only point to it with pride, you can count on it. It's going to be there when you need it for years to come.
The Illinois Waterways system consists of 336 miles of navigable water. A series of 8 locks managed by the Army Corps of Engineers controls water flow from Lake Michigan to the Mississippi River system.
With my local, being that I started at 20, I could technically retire when I'm 50.
Keeping restaurants and hotels up to date with the latest design trends is a constant challenge. Finding qualified contractors isn't at finishingchicago.com. We work with top designers and general contractors who use the latest painting, drywall finishing, and wall covering techniques in Chicagoland's premier hotels and restaurants. The hospitality industry relies on finishingchicago.com as its free resource to find quality finishing contractors. For a great finish, start with finishingchicago.com.
24/7, IBEW Local 9 linemen are there protecting you and your family. From the moment you wake up with a power in your home, on your way to work, lighting the way and easing congestion, plus keeping you safe with traffic lights and cameras. So the next time you're at a stoplight, pass under a power line, or just pull into your brightly lit neighborhood, think of your friends at IBEW Local 9. We'll continue to light the way for you. Meet us online at IBEW9.org.
Got a commercial, industrial, or healthcare construction project? Use a professional Flooring Installers Association install certified contractor.
Flooring must be skillfully installed so it looks great and lasts.
PFIA skilled union installers receive industry-leading training, including ICRA, to deliver quality and safety with any flooring product.
PFIA contractors are the single source for all of your flooring needs.
Flooring done right. The Professional Flooring Installers Association.
It's a simple fact that a career as a skilled union tradesman or woman provides a good salary and benefits, and those can be quite attractive to young people beginning their career. But as the years pass, another benefit becomes even more important.
I got introduced to the union from the concrete cutting company I was working for.
I grew up on the west side of Chicago. I painted, I did wallpaper, I did things for our neighbors, my sisters.
My dad's been a laborer my whole life, so I've seen him work, and I like the hands-on work.
In the military, I was general construction equipment operator. And prior to that, I went to school for auto mechanics, so I enjoyed working with my hands.
Started working with him construction-wise when I was young, developed some skills.
I'm a father, and I married a woman that had 4 children, and I had 5 children. So there was 9 children, and the goal was to take care of them.
Being a laborer is a good job. Take care of me, take care of my family.
They started me out as a labor apprentice.
I am in the apprentice program. This is my last class.
They now have an apprenticeship program where they didn't have it when I first started. So when I started out as a journeyman.
Once I became a journeyman, now my pay almost doubled.
Because we are the union, we never miss a paycheck. If you go to work, you get paid. There is straight time, there's time and a half, and there's double time.
Your employer will pay you your hourly rate, and then there's money on top of that that has to be paid towards your health and welfare, which is for your health benefits, your pension, and for all the training.
I decided to be a laborer because the laborers had the best benefit package of all the other trades.
I'm thrilled with the fact that I have a pension to look forward to and great health benefits.
You can go to any doctor you want.
I've gone to the doctor. I've never remember paying anything out of pocket. It's almost all taken care of.
The employer pays it outside of our hourly wage, and up to $10,000 a year, you're 100% covered, and then a 90-10 after that. Once you start out as a laborer, there's 2 different scenarios. You have Fox Valley, where you have to work a minimum of 300 hours before you get health insurance and your benefits. Then you also have Chicagoland, and with Chicago you have to work a minimum of 500 hours before you get your health insurance and your benefits. As long as you work a certain number of hours, once I had it, it's never lapsed.
After 5 years, you are vested.
Every so many hours you work, you get a credit, and every credit's worth so much every year, and that just adds up by the time you retire.
And any additional hours that you work, at the end, adds up to more credits.
Well, the age right now is 55, so I would like to get to 55. If anything, at 50, an early retirement.
If you did 20 years, but you've worked all this overtime, now all that overtime can very well push you up to 25 years, 24 years.
With my local, we actually have a 30 and out program. So being that I started at 20, I could technically retire when I'm 50.
It's a system where it's 35 years of service and 55, and you can retire with full union benefits. I unfortunately didn't make it to 35, I made it to 31. My mom was in the nursing home, and we had to kind of keep an eye on her.
If you retire a little early, you still can, but they take a percentage out of it.
I felt it was more beneficial for myself to go out early, and it allowed me the opportunity to do something else as a career and receive my pension.
My pension takes care of all my bills plus some. And my wife and I have medical insurance for the rest of our life, and it costs us only $40 a month.
It gives me comfort in knowing if something happens to me, then my wife will be taken care of for the remainder of her life through my pension.
I started when I was 32 years old, but it still worked out for me at the end.
Some people even get in late because of the benefits. They're like, man, I wish I'd have found this when I was 18, 20 years old, you know, and they end up switching to the union because they didn't even realize it existed.
I don't have to go to work. I'm retired. If I don't have to get up, go do anything.
I would recommend the labor's union to any and everyone whom is thinking about construction, who know they want to be in construction.
I call it the American dream. I'm living that dream.
This clinic does not collect payment. There's no copays, there's no deductibles, anything like that. We don't bill their insurance. I'm gonna shine a light in your eyes, okay?
When you have plumbing issues in your home, it can disrupt your whole routine. At Plumbers 911, we connect you with a highly experienced plumber in 5 minutes or less. We call it our 5-minute promise. All of our expert plumbers are highly trained, background checked, licensed, and insured, so you can feel confident that your job will be done right the first time. Our phones are open 24/7 to help solve your problem, day or night, at 1-833-PLUM-911. Plumbers 911, your plumbing connection.
We are DeWalt. We're the ones who grind it out. The ones using materials from all over the world to build the things that build America right here in America. And there's no place we'd rather be. Land of the free, tools of the brave.
This is a team. It's made up of different players, positions, skills, talented, sure, but on their own. Because every team needs a coach, someone who makes things work together. That's how Lesset works. We're coaches in the construction industry, bringing together laborers and management, unions and contractor associations. Our work leads to safer, stronger construction, which is a win for us all.
Healthcare is a hot topic. No matter where you get your news, you'll hear about it. Who should pay for it, who should have it, and what does it cover? Well, while union plumbers have strong health benefits, Plumbers Local 130 goes above and beyond with a health initiative that any of their members or their families can use, all without copay or deductible.
We're standing here today within the Future Health Center for the Plumbers.
We're in Lamont, Illinois, and what we're building here is a wellness center for our union brothers and sisters.
Being able to show my appreciation for the local and come back and put some time in for our wellness center, that brings a lot of pride.
Sen is a leading provider within the healthcare industry.
I have a lot of family that actually works in the unions, both electricians and plumbers. And so for me, it really hits home for the fact that I get to work with a great group here with the Plumbers Local 130.
All the exam rooms, all the sinks, all the waters, all the waste, all the vent.
All the members that are contributing to the build out today, knowing that it's your membership, your peers across the different trades that are actually contributing to the build out of your facility.
Because it's our union, you know what I mean? And we're just trying to do the best we can.
Our union is building a wellness center. Not only are we providing health care for you, but we'll provide the best.
If you're eligible in the Plumbers Welfare Fund, you're eligible for the Wellness Center in Lamont. We opened up Lamont August of 2019. It's what I had hoped and more.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have an appointment right now?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to see Dr. Trevor.
It's a first-class experience. What's unique about our wellness center is we want our doctor and our member to be engaged in a conversation. He wants to know our members or their family members so he can really get engaged with what that member and that family needs.
The Local 130 Union has really had a great foresight. Part of their dues go towards this. They already have fantastic medical coverage, but this clinic does not collect payment. There's no copays, there's no deductibles, anything like that. We don't bill their insurance. Shine a light in your eyes, okay?
There's a nice balance between members, spouses, children, and retiree. This is a very physically demanding profession. I mean, if you're outside all winter, your body gets beat up.
Normally, the plumbers population, they work so much, and it's difficult for them to find time to go see a doctor.
This work is not easy. It's tough on the men and tough on their bodies.
or they're so busy working that they don't even realize that something is going on with them.
As a 40-year member of Local 130 and the type of work that I've done through the years, I've really abused my body.
We're here for the plumbers and their family. We want to make sure that they stay healthy, and we want to make sure that they keep working.
Well, if you want to work, until you're 65, I mean, you have to be in pretty good shape because we do manual labor all day long, 40 hours a week, and it's not easy.
We had great benefits as long as I've been in the union, but I've never utilized them. And now that has caught up with me. The members are, working long hours, they're stressed, they have, back pains, blood pressure issues, things like that. So getting to be more and more almost specialized in what makes them tick and how to help them is only to their advantage.
There's nothing better than keeping our body in tip-top shape so we can actually perform our duties.
We hired Cerner Healthcare to oversee the Wellness Center. They're our partner.
As I look at the team that are working here today, so if you think about the range of motions, crouching, bending in different spaces, the ability to be able to do a physical motion study, we'll have what's called a motion lab here within the facility, and what's been called the green room.
The green room is primarily used to try and identify potential problem areas.
We can put a member in there, and the physical therapist there can identify if that member possibly had a torn rotator cuff, a bad back, bad knee, bad hips, a lot of injuries that plumbers get on the job site. It just sees your whole skeleton in there.
This shoulder could potentially be a problem down the road. Hopefully we can address it.
The physical therapist can give you exercise to help you through those aches and pains.
It's back-breaking work, but it's rewarding.
We didn't call it a healthcare facility. We call it a wellness center. We want our members and their families to be healthy.
Preventative medicine is the best medicine because you always want to catch things early, nip things in the bud before it becomes an actual problem.
We're going to spend money up front, but at the end of the day, our people, our members and their families are going to be healthier, and that's the end goal. Here at 130, we take care of the plumber, his spouse, and his children through the welfare fund.
It's all given to you. It's your opportunity, and you cannot pass it up.
I have great partners on the management side. It's all about labor and management working together. As I like to say to my contractor base, we're doing something for your employees and my members.
That's all for this episode of Built to Last. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey, Monica, do you know why carpenters make great witnesses?
No, why?
Because they saw everything.
Aha! Yeah. See you next time.